Welcome to Bingo Topics, where we cover a myriad of issues with the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll be covering some things that are analysis, as well as news slash reaction to things that are happening. But man, I'm excited, man. The regular season is not too far away. We're like a week and a half away, or a week, close to 2 weeks, but we're close, man. I know that. And the Patriots, sorry, Tom Brady, we're going to ruin that opening. But anyways, let's get into these topics. What's up, it's your boy Cintron, coming back at you with another analysis video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. First thing we're going to look at here is the recent news with the Cowboys and the Giants. They recently made some trades, and we're going to analyze those and try not to poke too much fun at our rivals. Because, we're punching down, and you try not to do that. That's abuse. Anyways, you see this guy here, you know who he is, Trey Lance, formerly of the 49ers. The Cowboys acquired him for a fourth-round pick in 2024. They gave it up to the 49ers, and he cost them 3 first-round picks and a third-round pick. Just amazing, man. And the reports on him are not coming out too good. That he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with Goliath. I mean, it's crazy that they traded for him, and all this does is make the pressure, make the oven that much more warmer for Dak Prescott. And this may be a sign of things to come, or it may just be them trying to grasp at straws. We know Jerry loves to hear his name in the press, read the press clippings and about the Cowboys, and just try to stay relevant any way he can, and copy the Philadelphia Eagles here. And I mean, it's just it's just not looking good, man. Trevor Lawrence, he went ahead of him, but I mean, Justin Fields. He's set, that was the debate: Justin Fields or Trey Lance, and obviously they selected the wrong guy, man. He was like a 8-game start, a 1-year starter with the North Dakota Bisons, I want to say, North Dakota State Bisons, and just he didn't have too much game film, and might have been like a redshirt junior or something like that. Just want to build Parcells, a former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. One of his statutes was draft a guy that has litany of starts, so you can evaluate him thoroughly, and they do that. He started 8 games, which was the worst for a top 5 pick in the draft since 1967, and he just hasn't been able to stay healthy, and hasn't had the chops to prove himself, to show himself. He was the number 2 quarterback, or battling for the number 2 spot, lost out to Sam Darnold, and just not showing much there. You asked to be traded so he can be a number 2, not to be a number 1, just to be a number 2 somewhere else. The chance to challenge, and I don't believe he does. He really improve him over Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush knows the system better than him, and I'm not sure the guy can read a field, properly. And that's not slight to his intelligence, but just his football IQ. He just doesn't have the instincts, is what a lot of guys say. And man, he just doesn't look ready. He looks overwhelmed at this level. So, I mean, I just laugh at it, but it's what the Cowboys wanted. So, New York Giants, they traded for Isaiah Simmons. This could be said it's better. And we're like, why the Eagles didn't trade for him? It was only a 7th-round pick in 2024. The guy has athletic, it's off the chart. He's like 6'4", 230, ran a 4.39, so I mean a monster, considerably speaking. But they just didn't know how to use him in the desert. Deja vu with a current Eagle edge rusher in why can't I think of Hassan Reddick? Another guy being mismanaged, and they were actually playing him. Jonathan Gannon was at DB, which is just travesty. The guy has, he's very athletic. He had 4 sacks in 2022. So it's not that he doesn't have the requisite talent. It's just he's been misused. And how do you use him? And this is right before the season. He hasn't had training camp with these guys. Most likely going to be sliding back to linebacker position. Maybe you can use him at edge rusher, but maybe he could be playing defensive back, for them as well. But he's not going to be playing significant snaps. I believe they probably have the guys set. He can maybe be a specialty player, but where do you put him? And then you got to install that. He's going to be behind the 8 ball, way behind, far behind. And is it going to be, valid? Is it going to the usage? And I think this is a contract year for him. So the worst position for him to be put in to transition to another whole new position and then be traded at so the cards are just, they're not stacked in this guy's favor. But I don't believe he's going to come in and be, effective for them. He can maybe be a spot guy, maybe discover something with him, with Dick Wink Martindale. But he, historically speaking, has a complex defense to learn. So it doesn't look good for the impact of either one of these guys. And just what the hell are you doing? Everybody in the division is floundering. You don't even mention the Washington Commanders. They don't even have a name. They don't command but disrespect. We'll see, but I mean, it just looks zany. It's like everybody except for the freaking Eagles. NFC East is crazy. Did it, and I'm not saying they don't have talent. Like each team has some talent. Washington finished, without a losing record last year. The Giants went to the playoffs and played, punched above their weight, their class last year. And the Cowboys, despite their finish, they were talented and they'll be talented this year as well. But they still won't go very far due to not having the management that the Eagles have, the front office that the Eagles have, and the talent acquisition department. It just is what it is, man. Anyways, let's move on to the cut down tracker. So we went over yesterday the guys, I think 8 or so that we cut. This is a list of the guys. Now the 9 guys that were released today. Kennedy Rooks, buried on the depth chart, number 6. We're not even going to keep more than 4 backs, and he didn't qualify. Didn't make anything of his chances this preseason. So Jaden Hasselwood had, he crossed paths with Hurts at Oklahoma, but nothing more than a practice squad body, and not practice squad, but nothing more than a camp body at this point. Didn't really show anything in the games, and he's getting the X and A. I mean, I don't think he even makes it to the practice squad because there's guys that look better, have better physical stats, and just have better projection for the future. Freddie Swain, don't even know his name, so he ain't in the game. Marvin Wilson's been with us a couple times, but we cut him, and it's not gonna be anything more than that. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really see him, but I don't. Maybe say he could warrant a look. We'll see, but we're kind of deep. I'm thinking Kentavious Street might get cut and then put on the practice squad because more than potential, we're ready to win the damn thing this year. Caleb Saunders, just another name. Robert Cooper, yeah. Quentin Bell doesn't ring a bell. This guy, I would love for us to get a longer look at him because man, he balled out and showed more than other linebackers did. I mean, all the linebackers maybe did in preseason, all put together. So the guy flashes, but he was going against other guys that aren't going to make the squad. But like I said, maybe try and develop him and see if he turns out to be something. Roderick Johnson went on the IR, so more cuts will come, but it was going to be rough, man. The next couple of days, you're going to have some guys that maybe I projected or other people projected to make the roster that won't, and then we'll see maybe some guys double back because the first and final 53, I mean, because it has to be cut down to that number, won't necessarily be the final 53 that we end up having going into the regular season because moves will be made, guys will be shifted around, guys will be put onto IR, so things will shake out how they do. Anyways, let's look at something that once again, Jerry Jones and his Cowboys, he talked about that despite having Prescott a couple years ago, he wanted to draft Jalen Hurts, and he got it wrong. He said, 2 years ago, it wasn't 2 years ago. Hurts is going to his 4th year, so I mean, he's already got the clock cooked in his head. Cuckoo. Well, he's just seen now. He's old, but he's saying that they would have drafted him. That they didn't. They thought he would have fallen further. But once again, if that was the case, you got to, be on your P's and Q's. But because if you're not early to the party, you're late. And they've been jumped, not just by the Eagles multiple times, for receiver and the tight end, who are both ballers, top 2 and 3 options on this roster right now. The Buffalo Bills also beat them to Dalton Kincaid last year, or this year in the draft. So if your step slow, you might have to go. But I mean, he's running the ship. He's the owner, so he has the final say. So nobody can fire him. But it speaks of just kind of revisionist history. Like, really, Jerry, really, anybody can come out and say that, and I get it. Like, what reason does he have to lie? But just you talking about it makes you seem like what you want to be like the Eagles. That's it. And yeah, that's why I just really believe, like, how you already said it. Like, if you're emulating guys around the league, you're going to be a step behind, because the true innovators are already a step ahead of the competition. They're the ones, being followed and not counting on others, to look to for inspiration. So it is what it is, man. Let's look at the all 22 on the offense and see like some indicators, like predicators on the Eagles offense this year, man. There's some interesting stuff. And yes, it was bland, it was vanilla, it was unprepared for the most part. Just stuff you practice, and that should be second, nature to you, as far as the plays, and nothing special. But some interesting look stuff. Yeah, McKee, we believe we have a player in him, and we'll see. Going into next year, it'll be a pivotal point, but that could definitely save us, like people were saying, on the quarterback next year, and help us develop that factory. Maybe he can spin him into a pick or 2 or 3, hell, and then move on to the next guy. But this look here, cover 4 beater. So I don't know, we're gonna play too many teams that employ cover 4 too much. I know Martindale employed some looks like that last year. He just likes to get exotic, but he still got beaten. But we have great outside receivers in AJ and Devonta Smith, who can definitely beat these coverages and be dummy. I love that. For me, this could be an insight into us not just using the tight ends over the middle, but using a guy like DeAndre Swift. So we have those guys run out the coverage, and then kind of guys peel off underneath. So a wheel route, a deep Texas route, angle route, or like a mini post behind those to come up into those soft areas, and those he's actually be the first guy that initially targeted on that play, and maybe Dallas Goedert can cut in kind of above him but underneath the post. So I mean, there's so many options you have there, but I believe this is something that we're gonna employ. If definitely have a too high coverage, and we see that that shell there with the 2 safeties, man, it could get very convoluted and complex to defend for the defenses out there against the Eagles. So we have so many weapons to flood you with, but this just being one that we could use. So the Eagles get a lot of single high safety due to the running game, which means, like I said, the 2 outside receivers could be open for like some quick hitters or balls outside the numbers. They're outside routes. So I mean, just lovely, man. You can flip that, so you can play off of that as well. Use your staples and then build off your staples and make a staple center. Okay, so the Eagles like running naked play action or boot action off a zone running game. I mean, I know we don't do that a lot. Not one of the reasons we were worried about like a crackback hit, kind of like the same direction that Hurts is peeling off. A DN or edge rusher just comes in, smacks him, and like that's just the end of that play, and he takes a hard hit. Possibly could dislodge the ball and then maybe head the other direction for 6 or something like that. I know I've seen it, but I haven't seen us use it much. But yeah, it could be great in increments. So we don't want teams to get acclimated, used to what we're doing at all. So you just float some things out there, and then another thing, he doesn't spend too much time under center. He's often in the shotgun, so it gives him a great chance to spread out the defense, get a look at all the options, and like kind of see the field better. With him not having the prototypical height, he's not like 6'3", 6'4". He's 6 foot or 6'1". So gives him a chance to be ahead of schedule as far as like seeing the play develop faster. All right, Tyler Steen, him not being able to anchor that much. So I mean, the problem, I believe he'll work on it. I don't think he'll see the field at all if everything that goes according to plan, like Joker would say. And he just redshirts, kind of backs up at guard or tackle, be a swing guy for us on the interior and the exterior, and lets Cam Jurgen get the starts at right guard this year before he slides back over to center when I believe Justin Kelsey hangs it up after this year at center. So the run game. Let's see, like double teams in inside zone. I love that. We have a strong interior. And Jason Kelsey, he's adept at helping, Landon Dickerson to his left. And then, Isaac Samuel last year, but, Cam Drakes. I believe maybe they might want to help him out more this season because he's not a prototypical guard. He's a natural center. He's, 6'3", naturally about like a 305, or like say, his weight without, coming off the bus, but he's buffed up 310 or so now. Maybe he's trying to get. I think he's trying to get to 315, but still, even for a guard, it's still light. So it'll be interesting. He has to face a lot of tough guys this year. Maybe Chris Jones. Just a lot of good D tackles. So maybe we were gonna help him at times, but definitely want to see if he can hold his own there. But it'll be interesting. But yeah, man, we're deep at with these running backs. Trey Sermons could be a legit 1,000-yard rusher, say like maybe 4.2 or 4.3 yards a carry, which wouldn't be all that bad. Not the best option, not a Swift 4.8 or a what's his name, Rashad Penny 5.5, but you don't need that. You don't need a special back. All we need is a dependable back, a solid back, and we have a stable full of them. So. We'll get into one thing that's illuminating from an ESPN article, and then we'll close out our day here at ESPN. All right, anyways, like the Philadelphia Eagles, the title of the article is getting to know the coordinators, and then, seeing that I got lost here. It's interesting, this stat I saw that we had. So Brian Johnson will be stepping up from being the quarterback's coach to the offensive coordinator. First year calling plays in the NFL, but he did it so at the collegiate level at University of Florida. It was very, very interesting the way he used running backs, his pass catching outlets, and that'll be very telling for Jalen Hurts this year. We believe that we're gonna, flood the field. We have could be a burgeoning star in this offense. And DeAndre Swift, and he has very soft hands. It could be a very good receiving, legitimate threat, not just coming out of the backfield, but running routes. Out of the slot, out wide, and at different positions, threatening at all three levels. So the Eagles gave Jalen Hurts plenty of targets in the past 2 seasons, using 5 players in pass routes 69% of the time, the 4th highest rate in the NFL, so pretty high up there, rating top 5 in the league. That being said, still didn't target running backs. We were like, we only used them at like 12% in the passing game, which is like, circling around the bottom. But that being said, with this coordinator, Brian Johnson, we're going to see an uptick. And definitely with, guys at that skill set like Gainwell and DeAndre Swift. Gainwell could, he showed the ability to catch passes. I'm not Gainwell, sorry. Rashad Penny showed the ability to catch passes, but he's not going to be featured like DeAndre Swift will be. We're going to be able to use that to our advantage, and then change the look of our offense, and not just having it be a last ditch option, a dump off option, but being a primary target on some of these reads. Like I said previously from the other article, where the wheel routes where the running back is the primary look read because he has an advantage over the slower linebackers or the safeties and corners that can't match up with his speed. That are going to be out physical. But yeah, it'll be pretty interesting. But that could take an uptick. Because I want to have secondary options. I want to have the running back be a valid option where you're giving single coverage to Devonta Smith and AJ Brown, where the second tight end is causing personnel to be subbed in, and people are looking to deal with him as a problem, where the third wide receiver, because he's being singled, is doing damage. So if you can have those 3 secondary options present and threatening, oh my gosh, this will take this offense to a whole nother level. But anyways, we're going to get up out of here on that note. mid-level length video for me. But I know you're not even watching though. I love making these videos though because I love talking about the Eagles. Bingo topics. We're gonna get up out of here. But as I always say, it's fly Eagles fly, and let's motherfucking go. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like. Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.